Hey guys, so I wanted to talk to you all about the most important kinds of running you need to include into your training plans. So, I have a lot of things to say, and I'm just going to let you know that a lot of this, is super great information, but also having someone like a coach to keep you accountable for these, to write you a plan that is a customized plan for you is really, really important. So if you're watching this video and you get done and you're like, mind blown, I can't even think about what those things are. I don't even want to figure out what they are. Send me a message because I can help with this. So the couple things that we're going to talk about, we have a couple different types of running that you need to include into a training plan, and I want to go through each one and talk a little bit about them, okay? So I have my notes. The first one is intervals. So these are short, intense efforts followed by recovery. So intervals are really, really great if you are somebody who likes to work really hard and then have some rest. Work really hard, have some rest. But intervals are really great to increase your speed, also work on that mental game, that mindset piece, and work on recovering well so that you can get back into action and get back into speed. So an example of a workout that would include intervals might be 4 times 2 minutes hard with 2 minutes recovery. So that's something like I include in some of my plans I do myself, where you have, a set of a certain amount of time where you're running hard, and then you have the same amount of time or about maybe a little more of a recovery time. So 2 minutes of running hard with a 2 minute or more recovery. Okay. So when I say or more, it's not like 10-minute recovery. Like you want it to be pretty consistent with how much you spent on your hard interval. Okay. So those are intervals. The next thing I want to talk about is tempo runs. So tempo runs are also called threshold runs, and they are also called Oreo runs. And the Oreo kind of model is that they're sandwiched with a warm up and a warm down, okay? And the threshold run is in the middle. So when we think about a threshold run, we want it to be, or a tempo run, we want it to be comfortably hard. So this, guys, is where you are able to say a few words, but not carry on an entire conversation. Okay, so, and you want to be able to do a tempo run for at least 20 minutes. So this is continuing at a comfortably hard pace for at least 20 minutes in a run. Okay, so an example of what this might look like is a mile warm up with a mile at tempo and then a 1 minute rest. And maybe you repeat that 3 times and then you do a mile cool down. Okay, so that would be 5 miles total. Okay, so remember what I said is you want your tempo run to at least be 20 minutes of hard, comfortably hard effort. Okay, and if you're doing this with somebody, you don't want to be able to talk. You want to be able to say a few words, okay? Now, the importance of doing this is that what happens is it really, really improves the longevity of your ability to stay at that comfortably hard effort. So what that does is it builds muscle, it builds your, mental mindset, and it also increases that lactic acid threshold so that you can go harder, longer, for an extended amount of time, which ultimately makes you stronger and makes you faster. Okay. And then the last one, well, there's 2 more. I'm going to add one, but the third one that I want to talk about is fartleks. Now, fartleks are hilarious to say. They're also fun to do, but fartlek is Swedish. It's a Swedish word for the phrase speed play. So these are exactly kind of like you think. They're a space to play and you're running. So a lot of times these are things to do for fun. And they make the part of running fast a little bit, more fun than just like, oh, I have to run really fast and it's awful, which is sometimes the mentality. So fartleks are where you run for an undesignated amount of time, super fast, so all out sprint, and then you jog. And you do that as much as you want within a run. So for instance, if you were outside, you may say, I'm going to run to the stop sign as fast as I can. Then I'm going to jog to the next tree. then I'm gonna, sprint to the bush, right? So things like that. So fartleks are something that are really fun and work on your feet pickup and your speed as quick as you can get started. And get to full speed. So it works on that, muscle building and that strength building as well. Okay. And then lastly, I wasn't going to talk about this one, but as I'm kind of talking, I also kind of remember this. You want to include long runs into your training. And long runs, guys, are anything over 60 minutes. So obviously, if you're a new runner, this is something that you won't be doing, for a long time in your training. But a long run for you might be a 2 mile run because that's longer than you've ran all week. So a long run is where you stay at an easy pace or a long run pace for a consecutive length or long amount of time. So a lot of times in the running world, if you're, a seasoned runner, those long runs are 60 minutes or more. If you're somebody who's just starting out, a long run for you might be 2 miles or it might be 4. So it just kind of depends. But this is, increasing your your lung capacity. It's increasing your mental mindset as far as like being able to continue to run a long run and not stop. But it's also increasing that muscle and strength building so that you can run that race that you're training for, whether it's a 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon, ultra. Okay. So this was a lot. I know. Like I said, if you want support with this, or you're like, I don't even know how to do these in my training, I don't know what it looks like, message me. I can totally help you with that. I would love to help you with that. So it definitely helps when you have a knowledgeable, experienced coach that can set you up for success in a training plan. And so if you're feeling confused, message me and I will definitely set up a time to talk to you. So have a great night, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.